It's the return of the very, very pretty boys and their very, very pretty guitars. This time in the form of Ichika Nito, the most recent one I've discovered in a long line of pretty boys and pretty guitars. I was first introduced to Polyphia, obviously, because I think they're probably the most famous people in this space. Anyway, when Goat came out, you know, everybody who touched a guitar in their life was like... So, you know, obviously I got exposed to that, and then over the years, I saw him do a collaboration. In fact, over the years, I mean, last year, he did a collaboration with Marcin, another very pretty boy with his pretty guitar, and that was also really good, and I had a little bit of a Marcin arc. I actually really like that collaboration he did with Portugal the Man. That's the one I have stuck to the most. It's probably because it's the one with the vocals in it, and as predominantly a singer, I just like being able to sing along to stuff. But he did also do a collaboration with yet another very pretty boy, and his name was Ichika Nito. I think I'm saying that right, sorry if I'm not. On his most recent album, and I also really, really like that one. That one was very interesting. I like the clash of styles. It felt like Marcin and Henson were a little bit closer in how they play, not so much with Nito, so I very much liked seeing that. And now it looks like Ichika is releasing his own solo stuff, not that he hadn't before, but, you know, recent releases and all that, with a song called Void, in fact, which is on a EP called Metaphor, 4 tracks, one of which is called Void, but we're looking at Void because that one is the only one with a music video, and we like a good music video, especially with Ichika. I feel like he's got some room for some interesting stylistic stuff on that one. So yeah, no, we're going to jump in and see. It's only 2 minutes long, which is rare for a guitar wankery song, but I guess that means he's going to cram it in extra hard. Only one way to find out, so let's jump in and have a listen to Ichika Nito's Void. Okay. First thing I've got to say, I immediately like that percussion. That just having that drum beat hit the very first beat of this song and then keep it kind of grounded. It gives this sort of like more flourishy guitar something to be really rooted with. I like it. It gives a sense of urgency to it. Also, it doesn't help. You know, he's picking extraordinarily quickly already, and we're only 9 seconds in. Ooh, I like the visuals. That little bang, bang, bang. It almost felt out of character then, I'm not going to lie, but it just moves straight into the second section, which is nice. It's a very clever transition, but I don't know, in a song where every note is like, you know, a demi-semi-quaver, it's just interesting actually having them like that for a change. Also, visually, I love it. I'm a little bit of I was going to call myself a Japanophile. I don't think that's quite fair to me, to be honest. I'm not like really into hentai and weeb stuff, but I do like the visual aesthetics that come with that kind of thing. So this, you know, the masks and the robes and the colours, sign me up. My dad showed me just enough kung fu films as a kid to be really into this stuff. It's a very silly hat. Also, how the bloody Nora do you play stuff like this wearing gloves? I know this is a music video, so you might not necessarily be actually playing, but I've never understood that. I struggle to play guitar with rings on my picking hand. I don't understand how people are able to do that. Also, I do really like the percussive nature of this stuff. There's maybe a bass, if there's any other instruments in this at all, but the drumming section, the percussion section is really, really adding a lot to this. Okay, is that a string section? Oh, the way that panned out then was absolutely amazing. You got this like one thing, it's like going quite rhythmic, quite staccato, and then suddenly you get that one little flow, and then it opens out into the pans on both sides at the same time as the percussion kicks up a little bit. Fantastic. Also, that's a headless guitar. That's a headless guitar. The energy in this song is fantastic. This reminds me a lot of Kubo and the Two Strings. I wonder if there's actual like intentional references there or not. Small person staring into big eye. Visually, I'm really digging this. It's a really interesting mixture, but it's like fast-paced enough and energetic enough, which again I think is probably quite due to the percussion, but it's allowing us to have this kind of like fast, rapid pace sort of Japanese themed dance. I'm digging this. It's also nice that he's willing to have sections in it that aren't quite so explosive in how fast they are. I think actually allowing us as a listener to have something to compare it to sort of like slightly more offbeat stuff where the percussion is honestly really the main thing that's going on for this 10-15 second section, but it gives us something to ground against when we're listening to the really, really fast stuff. I actually think it's a really clever creative decision to do it that way. Also, I really want that mask. Ooh. Right, we've got some multi-layering going on there. I can't tell you how many guitars are actually playing right now, but that opened up again a lot. But again, see what I mean? The contrast from the slower sections, it makes this section have much more impact. Also, big CGI'd towns and temples and stuff in the background. Awesome. We're gonna get animated. Drop out for the end, I assume. That was great. That was great for a lot of reasons. I'm going to lead with the visuals because the visuals are awesome. The costumes you had in there were fantastic. The use of visual effects for the sort of more CGI stuff, the big scary eye and all that, were subtle enough that I don't think they took away from it too much, but they definitely, they enhanced rather than sort of became overbearing. He's got a great hat. That's definitely something to say about the video. No, the dancing was great. It really emphasized the rhythmic nature of this song, and this song itself was way more kind of intricately rhythmic than I was expecting it to. The percussion section really made a big impact on how that song played out across the entire board. It allowed him to have something more to springboard off when it came to his sort of like more wanky stuff. I keep referring it to as wanky. I'm not trying to say that as a bad thing. It's just, that's what it is. It's wanky. That's fine. I honestly, which I didn't think I was going to say, could have done with that song being longer. I reckon that song could have easily had another minute or so in it. It was just such an amazing display of technical skill, which we all come to expect from any of the guys from this kind of like cadre of new, amazing, hyper-skilled guitarists who are all very young and very pretty. It's, I don't know why I keep on saying that. People are going to think I'm weird. But yeah, no, the display of skill there is obviously fantastic, but it just felt a bit more restrained than in some of the other ones, which I think I like more, actually. It just gave it this kind of like more grounded rooting. Yeah, it's just a way to compare it, which is really, really nice. God, yeah, I'm going to have to check out some more of this Ichika fella, because I actually think, with the exception of that Portugal the Man Martin collaboration, this is my favourite of this style I've heard so far. I don't know whether or not, again, I'm just a bit of a sucker for some sort of like Japanese influence when it comes to both my visuals and my audio, but the song itself wasn't really that inspired by sort of traditional Japanese music, if you ask me. It was just clever and tight and wonderfully portrayed the balances between the sort of slightly slower sections and then exploding out into the pan with the really, really crazy tappy stuff that he's somehow doing in gloves. It's an absolute masterclass, and being also 2 minutes, whilst I said it could have another minute on or so, I find it much less intimidating when, if I'm like, oh great, let me stick on the next Martin song. It's only 7 minutes of 50 notes a second. When that song creeps into my playlist, personally, I often skip it because of that. But this 2 minutes, short, sweet, punchy, and then we're out. Alright, I like that a lot. So cool. Yeah, well, if there's anyone in the comments who has any other kind of cool Ichika videos to show me, specifically, I really love the color palette and the costume and stuff from that one. So if you've got any other ones that he's produced like that you want to tell me about in the comments, let me know. That would be fantastic. Other than that, thank you very much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all of that crazy stuff, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.